Hello, my wonderful, excellent, incredible friends. Today, we're going to talk about wishes. Now, I have postponed this video as long as I can. It is literally the 31st of December where I am, but I know for a fact it's already the 1st of January 2025 in places like Australia. So, maybe I'm late for you, but for people who live in the same time zone as me, I am just barely on time, which is the best way to be on time. So this video is going to be outlining my wish list for mostly Nintendo things, but I'll throw in some other just general gaming things later because I do play other games. So obviously we're all expecting the Switch 2 in 2025. Some of us were even expecting it in 2024. Sorry, but it's basically guaranteed at this point that the Switch is going to get announced next year. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure it is guaranteed. Let me double check. Yeah, I just double checked. Nintendo announced that the Switch 2 will be announced before the end of the fiscal year. So it absolutely will be coming in 2025 in terms of announcements at least. So I don't know if that counts for a wish list, but it's on my wish list. So moving on from that, if you have ever watched my channel before, or at least the last 4 videos I've made, I love Pokemon and I love Metroid. But let me tell you, as a Metroid fan, I have been spoiled. So a little bit of background about me. My first Metroid game was Metroid Dread, and I loved it immediately. Most Metroid fans are like, it's been 65 years since I got a Metroid game. But that's not me, because not only did I have Metroid Dread to play, but then I played the entire backlog of games too, which is only like 4 other games, but I still played them and loved them. And then we got Prime Remastered, and I played that, and I loved that. That might be one of my favorite Switch games of all time. So the well of Metroid content is not running dry for me, at least. But that doesn't mean that I don't want more Metroid. So the first thing I want ports or remasters of Metroid Prime 2 and 3, because I've played about half of Metroid Prime 2, and it's a hassle to get all the old consoles out, to boot up the game, to get all that. I want it on the convenient hardware. So on my Switch, please. Or on my Switch 2, maybe next year. Just the ease of access of having all those games on one system, or the most recent system, is just invaluable to me being able to play and enjoy them to the fullest extent. Especially on the go, because I've been playing the Switch on the go a lot more than I used to. And it's really nice. Now, of course, there's the looming shadow of Metroid Prime 4 on the horizon. You know, everybody's talking about it. And I guess my big hope for that would be, obviously, that Prime 2 and 3 release decently well before Metroid Prime 4 does. And it feels kind of weird to wish that Prime 4 comes out a little bit later. But, like, say we get Prime 2 and 3 at, like, the start of 2025, and then a few months later, 6, 7, whatever, Metroid Prime 4 at the end. I think that would work great. Give us some time to play those old ones, and now we get the new one. Perfect. But if that doesn't happen, I actually think I would just rather have Metroid Prime 4 as a launch title for the Switch 2. Now, the selfish little guy in me really wants it to be an exclusive on the Switch 2, just because exclusive sounds more like, oh, it's going to utilize the fancy hardware and graphics of the Switch 2 more. It's going to do better. But realistically speaking, Prime 4 was built to be on the Switch, and if they did push it back to the Switch 2, it's not like it would get that much more effort and time put into the graphics or how it runs or anything, so it probably wouldn't matter if it was an exclusive on Switch 2. I just feel like the name exclusive Switch 2 launch title just is more fancy and desirable. I don't know, but either one's fine for me, honestly. I do think a dual release would probably be better for, like, the health of the Metroid franchise, because getting a release on the Switch 1 means we get to benefit from this massive install base. The Switch sold insanely well, like so good. So you have all those people with Switches that can now play Metroid Prime 4, but when the Switch 2 releases, it won't feel like Metroid is trapped on this inferior hardware from the last generation. Do you remember when the Switch came out and Nintendo just kept releasing games exclusive for the 3DS? Samus Returns is a great game, and I loved playing it on the 3DS. But it came out exclusively on the 3DS 6 months after the Switch came out. And, I mean, I wasn't a Metroid fan back then, but I can only imagine how frustrating it must have been for actual Metroid fans to have this really shiny new remake of a Metroid game on the 3DS and not the brand new awesome console that everybody's loving. Okay, just one last Metroid thing and then I'll move on. I would love to see a new mainline Metroid game get made and released on the Switch 2 or the Switch or whatever. Like, Metroid Dread was an incredible game. I had so much fun playing it, and I have successfully played every single regular 2D Metroid since then or before that. You know what I mean? I've played all the 2D Metroids now, and I want more because I'm selfish. Either way, I think Metroid 6 would be an incredible addition to the 2025 Switch roster. Now moving on, my Pokemon wish list for 2025 is actually pretty simple. All I want is to not get Gen 10. I don't want it. I don't want to hear about it. Just no. I won't get into the nitty-gritty here, but just one of my biggest disappointments and frustrations with the Pokemon Company has been that BDSP, Legends Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet all came out within 1 year of each other. 1 year. That's 3 different games, or, 5 games if you count them separately, all in 365 days. When Scarlet and Violet came out, they were riddled with bugs, and honestly, just like a few months, a few extra months could have done so much for polishing that game to make it less terrible. And yes, the memes were very funny. I enjoyed all of them. But, if the game ran better, I feel like I wouldn't even debate if it was the best Pokemon game, because it just was so much fun in spite of them. But if they were all fixed, that'd be even better. If they had just moved Legends Arceus back to November in the Scarlet and Violet release date, then suddenly we can push Scarlet and Violet back a year, push the DLC back a year, and now we have more time to breathe. We have some more time to breathe, we have more time to play these new games, and we have more time to work on the games we're making, Game Freak. Maybe we could do that. Just a little bit of quality assurance. Just a teeny tiny little bit. Can we just get a little bit of it? Just a little bit? So, what I don't want is a repeat of that year. I want Legends ZA to come out in November and be the November release for Pokemon. I don't want it any sooner than that. No summer release so we can get to Gen 10. We can squeeze it right in. No, I don't want that. Don't do it. Bad. Naughty. No. So basically, in short, it's not that I don't even want the release in 2025. I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want any news. No news about Gen 10 until 2026. That'd be great. But if we did get news, I wouldn't be opposed to Johto remakes. I know everyone says Univa's next, but really the games came out Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, then Black and White. So really the ones next in line are Heart Gold, Soul Silver to get remakes. But of course only if they're like Oris type remakes or just completely new, like a Legends type game where it's open world. That would be really cool. But I hope that they're not like BDSP. I would be sad if they were like BDSP. I'm not going to get into it, but if we wanted really faithful remakes like BDSP, let's just play the old games. Like, I get Red and Blue, you need to remake, even if they're faithful, you're going to remake them because they're really, really old games, but Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum and Heart Gold, Soul Silver are still very well playable today. Like, they're modern enough to be played today, so I don't know why they did it. I'm not going to get into it. I said I'm not going to get into it, and I'm not going to, but maybe I'll make a separate video about Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, because there's so much more to talk about with those games, but we're moving on. Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario game by far. I love them. Now, I didn't grow up playing 64 or Sunshine, and I've actually never even played Galaxy, but yeah, Mario Odyssey is my favorite of all of them so far. Now, I don't think I would want Odyssey 2, because despite the fact that I think Odyssey has a really great concept that could mean like infinite expansion for anything they wanted to do, it's too little too late, honestly. Like, it's been too long. But I just want a new 3D Mario of some kind with some new idea. Be really cool. A lot of movement options, because what made Odyssey so much fun was that there was so much good movement. It just felt so good to move in that game. So anything with great movement, 3D Mario, sounds good to me. Zelda typically gets a new game every year to some extent. So it's a decently safe bet to make that a Zelda game would come out in 2025, and I think I would want that. What I would want specifically, though, would be... I'm thinking I would want another 2D Zelda. Now, I loved Echoes of Wisdom. I was glued to it for a solid week until I beat the whole game. It was so much fun, I really enjoyed it, but it didn't quite satisfy that 2D Zelda itch in my brain. In general, the lack of really challenging puzzles like I would see in a game like Link to the Past was a little disappointing to me. Now, again, I loved Echoes of Wisdom. I thought it was really great, but just it's not quite a 2D Zelda game in the same way. The fact that we locked actual combat behind the Link suit was a bit difficult for me because I ended up just never using it. And I like the traditional combat more than the Echo system, even though the Echoes are really cool. Now, much like Metroid, I actually never played a Zelda game until the Switch, with Breath of the Wild being my first one. But even still, after playing all the old games now that I fell in love with Zelda, I think my favorite game is still Link to the Past. Now, I wouldn't want a Link to the Past remake or anything like that. I don't need another Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds was good. Don't need another one, though. Just another really tight, well-designed 2D Zelda game would be just great. Now, would it be too greedy to ask for Pikmin 5? I don't know, maybe. Splatoon 3, baby! What a game! Now, I I am the proud owner of 2 of all 7 total units of Wii U sold ever. I was there when Splatoon 1 launched, and it was a magnificent game. I cannot stress how much I played Splatoon 1 when it came out. It was just so much fun. I had friends who played it, I played it, and that's really the winning formula for me, honestly. If my friends are playing the multiplayer game, I'll play it too. I actually didn't get into Splatoon 2 because at that point, my friends weren't playing it, and so I would play it a little bit. To me, it's just not as fun to play when I'm not directly playing with friends, so I didn't play much Splatoon 2. But then I went to college, and I met new people who played Splatoon, and we all played Splatoon 3 the night it launched at midnight, all downloaded it, played it for hours, it was so good. So good! And we still get together and play once in a while now, so I mean, Splatoon 3 has just been, it's been great. So getting Splatoon 4, just 3 years after Splatoon 3 came out, does seem a little bit early, especially when it took, 5 years to get Splatoon 3 after Splatoon 2? But Splatoon 2 came out only 2 years after Splatoon 1, and that was because there was a new console coming out. So what I'm saying is, Splatoon 4 is, I don't know, a launch title maybe on the Switch 2. That could be pretty cool. I think the last, big game I'm really looking for would be Animal Crossing, because in 2020, Animal Crossing was the biggest thing ever, and I just loved it. I played New Leaf on my 3DS, of course, I played Wild World on my DS, and I played City Folk on my Wii. I was there, baby! So, I was also there for New Horizons on the Switch, and it was just, I loved it so much. I have some complaints, but I would love to see a new Animal Crossing on the Switch too. My biggest hope for this game is that it does not include the word new in the title, because New Leaf is no longer new. New Horizons is no longer new. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? But in all reality, my biggest hope is obviously keeping all the new features that Animal Crossing has, like, placing furniture outside and customization of your island. I think those are really good things. But one thing I would like to see go away forever is the soft clay mushed up villagers that we have right now that have no personality or rough edges whatsoever and are just too nice all the time. I like it when they got angry at me. What? Can we not have can we get some aggression in our peaceful Animal Crossing relaxing game, please? Just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna blitz through some games now because these are ones that I don't need to talk too much about, but I think could absolutely come in 2025 or beyond. So let's do it. We get a Mario Party every year. We're getting another Mario Party, obviously. I would love to see Mario Kart 9, finally. I've been waiting since the Wii U. This game is so old because I had this on the Wii U. I told you I was a Wii U owner. I own 2 Wii U's of all 7 that ever got sold. I actually really enjoyed Ring Fit Adventure, and when I started going to the gym for the first time, it was only after playing this game for a little bit to boost my confidence. It sounds a little weird, but it's true. Mario Maker 3 would be great. Mario Maker 2 is great. Mario 3 would be great. And of course, Smash Bros. Now, Sakurai, he should get a break, but I would still like to see a Smash Bros. Now, the hard part about Smash Bros. Is Ultimate had everything in it, so I think it should probably restrict it a little bit, but I think the way they should make that work is by lowering the roster a little bit, but also giving everyone completely new everything. No more, don't bring anything from the old games in terms of movesets or whatever. A smaller set of characters that all have really, really refined and well-balanced movesets that differ completely from what they had before. We have so much more content to pull from Peach or from, Zelda, to take from, Echoes of Wisdom, for example. Put all those things together, really, really pack it in nice and dense. And suddenly we have a brand new Super Smash Bros. Game that has, not 150 fighters, but is still beloved, maybe, hopefully, please? That'd be cool. I'm looking around my bedroom for other things I would want to see, but I think that's all my Switch games are down in that corner, so that's why I'm looking over there. I think that's all I really want to see. It's not really confirmed what the Switch 2's title will be, but people are thinking it's probably just going to be Switch 2. I personally think it'd be really cool if they brought back the Game Boy logo, and it was the Game Boy Switch. Now that would draw eyes. That would draw an attention. It probably wouldn't. The Switch U? No? Okay. Moving on beyond Nintendo. Baldur's Gate 3. That was my favorite game of all time last year, and I was a year late on it. I didn't actually play it when it came out. I played it only after it won Game of the Year, because I try and do that. Not going to play Astrobot, though, because I'm not going to buy a PS5 for one game. But I played Baldur's Gate 3, and I was like, wow, this is the best game I've ever seen in my life. It was so much fun. I love D&D. I love playing it on the computer now. They just keep... Larian Studios just seems like a really quality studio. And they're releasing all these patches. So patch 8 is coming out in 2025, and that's going to bring a lot of new subclasses. Can't wait to play those. But what I want to see is I want to hear more news from Larian Studios that's not necessarily a pre-existing IP like D&D or something. I want to see, Larian Studios, the shackles are off, you can make whatever you want. I want to see that in 2025. Minecraft! Now, if you've watched any videos that were before 4 videos ago, I used to play a lot of Minecraft on this channel, and I still plan to some extent, but I don't know. We're kind of doing a big rebrand thing. I don't know, I'm not going to get in the weeds. Minecraft has had one big glaring issue for a very long time, and that has been the fan base is kinda cringe. Now, back in 2012, in my day, the fans were cringe because they were all cringy 12-year-olds. Now, these days, the fan base is cringe because they're all just so negative, I guess. Now, I get that there's a lot of complaints with Minecraft, and I understand that a lot of the features I feel like should be integrated into the rest of the game more. But I'm seeing so many videos this year of like, Minecraft is ruined forever. Minecraft will never be the same. Minecraft sucks. Minecraft's the worst game ever. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna get into it. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. Maybe I'll make a whole new video about that. Actually, that's probably doesn't belong in my wishlist video. But what I hope from Mojang this year is some Minecraft news that is not controversial. Something that's not gonna stir the pot a little bit, you know? I never liked the mob vote. I'm glad they did away with it. Not for the same reasons everybody else hated it, but maybe I'll make another video about that later. I don't know. So many video ideas in this video. I should have done this more often. Everyone talks about an end update again, which is funny to me because I feel like we just got one, but that was also 1.9, which was ages ago. But my perspective on time is terrible, and I'm getting old, and I'm so slowly getting crushed by time itself. But we're going to worry about that later. So an end update would be really cool, but I can't deny that it makes perfect sense why they wouldn't do that, because what is it, like 5% of total players have even entered the end dimension or something like that? It's crazy how small it is. Honestly, what I would like to see from Minecraft most is like just a general update where they don't necessarily add a lot of new things, but they update old things. Like a lot of the new mobs, like the camel or the frog or the sniffer, have really good animations, comparatively speaking, especially compared to the pig, cow, and sheep, and the chicken. And I think if they updated those with some more dynamic animations, that'd be great. Performance issues, I think, are a really big problem with a lot of Minecraft, and it's gotten better over time. I remember the dreaded COD AI. Like, optimizations, just things that make the game easier and simpler to play. Just go through that bug list and just start hammering those bugs out. Like, not like little tiny things here and there like we get now, but like just really knock them out. And I think the biggest thing I want to see from Minecraft would be, honestly, just some harmonization between Bedrock and Java. Don't fix Java Redstone. I will hurt somebody. Everything else, I think we should get from Bedrock. Like, you know, shooting tridents out of dispensers, you know, potions and cauldrons, stuff like that. Like, just all these little things, just move them to Java. Movable tile entities, that's a good one. We'll take those. And that's my Minecraft wish list. What other games do I play? I don't know. Well, it seems like I ran out of things to talk about, so let me know your 2025 wish list in the comments section, and I'll see ya in the next video, and I don't know when I'll make another one. Okay, I love you, bye.